I've not been to a lot of countries, but some countries that I've been to. First question I'm being asked, it's about my sexual capacity. There is an opinion that African men are good for sexual purpose.
Gratification.
Yeah.
I have seen people in Vietnam talked about how strong. The word strong in Vietnam does not mean what strong connotes in English. So strong in quote connotes sexual prowess. Big bowler is not what we are known for.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to Africa, let me use my country for example.
Yeah.
One of the fastest selling herbal drugs is this sexual stimulant. It's a multi-billion naira business industry in my country.
What's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You would know why I am laughing in a bit, because what we what we want to discuss here today is it's quite funny.
Controversially
it's
funny.
Controversially funny, you know, because there is a stereotype that we want to address in this video. We want to try to correct the public opinion, you know. So, Bola, we're gonna.
That's a new word that's supposed to be added to the Oxford Dictionary.
Absolutely. So that's what we're gonna talk about. This video is not it's for matured minds, but you know what has to be said has to be said.
Sure.
But we're gonna try to say this in a modest way, and in a very morally acceptable way. So there is a stereotype about African men around the world, and this has to do with the sexuality of an African man. So when African men are seen, and this is something that I have observed, you know, traveling around. I've not been to a lot of countries, but some countries that I've been to, the first question I'm being asked, it's about my sexual capacity as an African man. So there is an opinion that African men are good for just sexual purpose.
Gratification.
Yeah, that is what the world thinks. So you see sometimes people begin to see an African man and they stretch out their hands to demonstrate that you have a good or a big or long reproductive organ as an African man. So that's what we want to talk about. Is the capacity of an African man limited or restricted to just his sexuality, or is there more to an African man? So let's talk about this, Mr. Emmy. What is your thoughts? First of all, have you had that experience before?
Severally.
Wow. Tell us about it.
The truth of the matter is that there's a lot of stereotype when it comes to an African man. But this one is pertinent. That is why I really pick up interest to speak on this matter.
Okay.
You know, I have seen people in Vietnam talked about how strong. The word strong in Vietnam does not mean what strong connotes in English.
In English,
you know,
it
strong,
has a deeper meaning.
Than we can explain.
Yeah.
So strong in quote connotes sexual prowess, like being sexually strong, like having a high libido.
Yeah.
You understand? So, and I've seen this from majorly the women. You see, they are ready to do everything to get an African man with the notion that this man is sexually strong or has high sexual capacity. But even you go to the primary schools, the high schools, you'll see students doing something like this, giving you signs that, oh, you've got a big bowler. Permit me, the word bowler, you guys should research it on the internet. It's a word that is going to be added.
Just search the word here. It's right here. So that's the word we're going to use in this interview.
They begin to give you signs to prove that you have like a big bowler.
Yeah.
This is not just something that has started today. You could see this happening in Europe.
Yeah.
But I speak for Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
The Vietnamese women will tell you that you are so strong. I've seen so many come to my channels on TikTok.
Yeah.
Asking for African, men.
Yeah.
The basic reason is he's so strong.
Yeah.
And strong mean sexual capacity.
Yeah.
Blessed with big bowler, you know. So, but it's funny, but it's absurd, you know.
Yeah.
Because there is more to an African man than just being strong, in quotes, or being sexually strong.
Yeah.
You know, if you see some of the best minds today in the world, they're Africans.
Yeah, they're Africans.
They're Africans. The first surgeon who separated the Siamese twins is an African
man.
So many great Africans blazing the trail.
We have Dangote, we have Elon Musk, and all.
So many. Look at Chindamanda Adichie, one of the best writers in the world. So many. Chinua Achebe of blessed memory. So we have Africans who have done notable things, who have done things.
And still doing notable things.
Even in this Vietnam, you see African teachers with energy, with zeal, with enthusiasm, with confidence, with boldness, with charisma. I have seen a scenario where an African was fired because of the nationality card from his job. And they brought the people who were perceived to be from a better location. After a few days of working in that organization, they saw that these people lack energy, lack enthusiasm, lack charisma. They had to swallow their pride and went and appealed to these Africans to come back.
I'll tell them to pay me double.
You got it, but those guys were so humble. They returned. But if I were to be in their shoes, now that would have been the best time to negotiate. Really negotiate. So there is more to an African man. Africans are very cheerful people. In fact, one of the most hospitable people in the world are Africans. Africans are cheerful. Africans are naturally happy. You understand? There is one thing that God has blessed us with. We've got this natural smile. If an African smiles at you or smiles,
you want to make me smile now.
You get it. That is real. Real.
It's sure.
You understand? So there is a lot to an African man than just Big Bola. An African man has one of the strongest genes. An African man is wired in a rugged way. One of the largest continent that is migrating. And if you see places where they are located, they are always striving to be the best. You understand?
To do great things in that area.
There are some crops of bad eggs.
Surely.
But
everywhere.
Majority of Africans that are migrating, they are migrating not just to constitute nuisance wherever they are going. They become light in the society. Look at Vietnam today. We have so many great African teachers. So many great African teachers in Vietnam, blazing the trail.
Just doing great things.
Doing things like milestone achievement in the length and the breadth of Vietnam. So Big Bola is not what we are known from. Do you know, if you go to Africa, let me use my country for example. One of the fastest selling herbal drugs is this sexual stimulant. It's a multi-billion naira business industry in my country. If you go to any park, garage,
it's always there.
Pharmacy, you see sexual stimulant. So if we are actually strong as perceived by these people, why do we need to go and use all this sexual stimulant for those who we understand things like agbo? So if we are actually strong as perceived by these people, why do we need to go and use all this sexual stimulant for those who we understand things like agbo?
So what do you think has contributed to this perception? Is it the movies? Is it the media? Is it transmitted knowledge? What do you think is responsible for other parts of the world perceiving an African man as just being a sex machine?
Number one is the mindset.